Hey there, everybody. Welcome into today's edition of ESPN FC Extra Time. We have your questions straight off of Twitter. We also have an amazing trio of guests. Stewart Robson, Leboeuf, Don Hutchison, all with us. Let's get to the first one, guys. John asks, have you ever been on a team with so many new players coming in like Chelsea this season? Was it difficult? And did you develop chemistry? Frank, this seems like a perfect question for you.
On a team with any players? What?
Were you not listening to me when I was reading the question?
No. I was listening. I was watching Dan and Stewart, so I didn't listen to the question.
What were they doing?
What I was doing? I don't know. Nothing. I was sure to play. They brought so many players, but I was sure to play, so no problem for me.
I hope you had better
of course, you have to be
when
worried.
you were a player, Frank.
Oh yes. I didn't care about the others, and I was. No, the thing is, I think it's part of the modern football where you have to accept the competition, and you know that you have so many games to play that you have to be focused on being healthy, training well, and at some point you will have a chance. And when you have that chance, you have to be good if you want to have a chance to carry on. That's the only thing. We had less games. I think when I played the World Cup, of course, I had like 60 games, but normally we had like 40, 45 games. And that was it. So, of course, if you were a substitute, you had no many chances to play. But nowadays, it's different. For any club, it's mostly different because you have lots of games.
Robbo, let's see if you want to listen to my question as I read it. Was winning West Ham's Player of the Year award at all awkward between you and your teammates?
Was it awkward between me and my teammates? I don't know. They might have begrudged me winning it. But, I certainly... I thought that I probably deserved it that year. It says something about the West Ham team that Billy Bonds, who was nearly 42, was the runner-up to that Player of the Year when I won it in 1987, 88. So yes, I'm not sure. One or two other players might not have liked the fact that I got it. I can think of one or two that I didn't get on with, but in the main, I think most would have agreed.
You beat out a 42-year-old. Still something to write home about. Jeremy asked, what was the biggest scoreline you were a part of? I wonder if he was watching MLS last night. We had Seattle beat San Jose 7-1. Don, what was the most lopsided scoreline you ever partook in?
I've had a couple, Sebi. I've been done 7-1 for West Ham against Blackburn away from home, and that was embarrassing. And I've also been done a 7 against Man United for West Ham at Old Trafford. So they are never nice. I think the most when I've been winning, I think is 5 or 6, but the 7s and 8s when you get beat, I mean, they are just humiliating.
Frank, you ever shipped more than 7 goals?
Yes, we had a 10-0 for France against Azerbaijan, and I scored 2 goals, my 2 first goals with the national team. Win with a major, like a volley behind my knee. Fantastic. I don't know how I was able to do that. And a fake cross when I shot, in fact, and the goalkeeper was surprised. But we won 10-0. But I lost the game also 8-0, even if I didn't finish the game because I got a red card because I got so upset with my teammates. And I tackled one of the opponent and I got red carded after 5-0.
Robbo,
very good souvenir.
Robbo, worst beating that you were a part of?
I think I lost 6-0 with West Ham on an occasion at Oldham Athletics. So common denominator seems to be West Ham. But the most embarrassing one was in 1982, I think, when we went to White Hart Lane. I was playing for Arsenal. We just reached the semi-final of the FA Cup. That was on the bank holiday Monday before the FA Cup semi-final, and we got beaten 5-0. And there wasn't much effort put in by many of the players that day, trying to protect themselves for the FA Cup semi-final. So that was the most humiliating.
Sticking with you, Robbo, thoughts on Arteta announcing that Guendouzi will remain at Arsenal? Should he be sent out the door after his childish actions against Brighton, or does he deserve a second chance?
Well, it looks as though Mikel Arteta is forgiving some of the players now. Guendouzi's one. Mikel Arteta looks like he's off the naughty step for a little while. I think he handled Guendouzi really well because Guendouzi had lost control. He was out of control for much of last season, both on the field and off of it. He's lack of discipline tactically. He's lack of discipline when he's making tackles. He's lack of discipline with the referee and the opponents. And Mikel Arteta had to show who was boss. He showed him who was boss, left him out the side. Arsenal started to play well. I'm surprised he's bringing him back in, maybe because nobody actually wants him at the moment.
Don, Everton question here. I'll fire it your way. Did you ever have a coach who was as obsessed with you as Ancelotti is with James Rodriguez?
Not obsessed, but I was lucky enough to play for a manager twice, the great Howard Kendall, who brought me to Sheffield United from West Ham. And then when we lost the playoff final against Crystal Palace in the Championship, he then went to Everton, Howard, and he took me with him. So I had a great relationship with Howard Kendall. He's one of my favourite managers that I've ever played for in my life. We were so close. And it was nice when a manager who signed you before brings you back and takes you to a club like Everton, because, you know, it's a huge football club, but, you know, Howard is rated amongst the very best that's ever managed Everton. So it was a real honour.
On the show, we've heard you guys cry about preseason quite a bit. Our next question, what's the worst preseason friendly that you guys have ever played in? Frank?
Maybe my second season as a football player, I was playing for Laval in close to Brittany, and I got injured twice during the preseason, which is real nightmare, you know, when you're a football player, because you have to restart from scratch all the preseason preparation, and it took me like 3 months to be finally prepared. That was the worst ever, but I was 21, so I guess it would have been like 10 years later, it would have been almost impossible to be ready the whole season long.
Hey, Robbo, realistically speaking, what should be Arsenal's aim at the end of the season?
Well, realistically, they've got to be in that fourth position. That's what I think their aim will be, and to do well in maybe a couple of the cups. I don't think they're going to get into the top four. I think there's 4 better teams than them at the moment. I think they might come 5th. It's going to be a struggle for them to get in that top 4, but that's got to be their aim, and have a good couple of an FA Cup run and maybe a Europa League run. That'd be good for Mikel Arteta.
Frank, we talked about this a little bit on the show. Our next question asks, which manager do you think will be sacked first in the coming Premier League season? Based on the questions you had, is Jose Mourinho on that list?
It could be, but we didn't talk about the others. I mean, it could be also Solskjaer if he doesn't do well, and what about Guardiola? I mean, if he doesn't start well the season, you know.
Nah, they're not gonna fire Pep. They're not gonna fire Pep. Come on.
Well, you never know. You know, chairmen and boards are completely crazy. You know, if they don't get what they have, if they have like 5 points, they are 5 points behind Liverpool. You know, after 10 games, maybe they can get crazy. I don't know. I don't wish to any coach to be sacked, but it can happen. But it can happen to anybody. What about Sheffield United? If they are last at the table after the season that they had last year, what's going to happen to the coach? You know, the board will be unhappy because why he was so good last season and bad this season. Bye-bye. Nobody is sure to stay. Well, Mourinho even more than the others.
Don, you ready to add your name to Frank's Guardiola out campaign?
Guardiola's not going to be sacked by Man City. Not a chance. I think the teams that are going to struggle, maybe someone like Dean Smith at Aston Villa, he needs to start the season well, because what you wouldn't want from an Aston Villa's point of view is for the manager and the team not to start well and they be in the bottom 3 or 4th bottom, and he's under pressure after 4 or 5 games. So he must start well. I mean, you know, if Watford was still in the Premier League, they'd be certainties to fire their manager because they only seem to last 5 minutes. So I think the teams that come up, you know, I think Slaven will be given a lot of time at West Brom for the job that he's done. Scotty Parker the same. But I think someone like Dean Smith, I hope that he starts well.
Robbo, who's your first to go?
I put Brighton down in the bottom 3. So Graham Potter, who's meant to be a very good young coach, I think he could be under a bit of pressure if they don't start the season well, and they're in that bottom 3.
All right, our final question today comes from one of my favorite Twitter accounts, Ale Moreno's Diving School. Frank, was Craig known for his shooting? I've been watching his highlights, and he scored some beautiful goals. Who watches Craig's highlights?
I don't remember Craig scoring a goal. That's my main concern. You know?
Frank, I think your silence said it all. Just your face said it all.
Yeah, no, I saw some highlights, you know, a fantastic goal that he scored, like I think it was against Liverpool, I don't know, or he chipped the ball, whatever it was, but even if they lost the game, but that's it. But I don't remember Craig scoring a goal when he was playing with me. I'm sorry, so sorry for the answer, but nothing much I can say.
Don, don't know if you've heard this before on the show, but Craig actually did score a goal, and in a World Cup. How about that?
Craig was a decent player, honestly. Craig was decent. His attitude was good. He could play a number of positions. He always wanted
His
to be the
attitude was
playmaker.
good.
It
We're talking about
it
the
was
same
really-
Craig Burley?
Yeah, because he was nasty, he was horrible, but when you're in his team, that's a good thing. Craig always wanted to play inside. He had himself down as a sexy sort of midfield player.
There's stop. There's nothing sexy about Craig Burley.
No,
Stop.
no,
That
no.
is just terrible analysis.
Craig-
I can't let you do that.
No, listen. Craig had himself as a sexy midfield player. All the managers who knew what Craig was about stuck him on the right wing and just said, run up and down as fast as you can and cross the ball.
I never said, Sabi, I never said that Craig wasn't decent. I only say that Craig wasn't the top scorer. I remember playing on the right side
out of
and
big hole here,
delivering.
Frank.
No. But I remember Craig delivering crosses, very good crosses from the right side, and he was very powerful, and he was a real dog on the field, really to bite anybody. He was a real warrior with a little bit of technique also.
Sebi, when Scotland played England and Craig Brown, our manager, done his team talk, and he went through all the Scottish players, and he went through all the English players, and he said, I wouldn't swap you for him, I wouldn't swap you for him, and he got to Craig, and he went, Craig, you are the best crosser in the whole of He went, I would not swap you for David Beckham.
No.
You see,
he lost it.
you see.
Yeah, but then we thought, manager's talking rubbish now.
Nah.
He had us with 9 to 10, and then as soon as he said Craig and Beckham, we were like, gone, finished.
There you go. Plenty more about Craig, his good looks, his good crosses, his good shots on tomorrow's show. I'm sure we'll talk some Premier League as well. Don't miss it. Thanks, boys.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.